Hi everyone, so I have this Egyptian kind of doll from Monster High. I'm not quite sure what her name is, so if you do know, please leave a comment in the comment section, obviously. But yeah, I quite like this one because unlike the other Monster High dolls, which they normally have like weird like fins or webbed feet or like something that makes them a monster, I guess, because it's Monster High. This one is just like quite plain in that sense. She hasn't got any weird like features that way, except that her skin is like golden with a bit of glitter on, which I quite like. And she's kind of sassy looking, this one. That's kind of why I like her, because she's just like, yeah, quite fierce. So I'm removing all her makeup, I'm removing all the kind of hair colouring as well, plain face, and then I've decided to give her red hair. The only thing which I realise after doing this um, is that I don't actually have enough red hair. So you'll see later on in the video that she has kind of like alopecia, I want to say. You can see right here, like she looks like she has loads of hair in the front, but actually in the back, she is really bold, like really, really bold. But anyway, so I'm using hot water here to shape her hair a bit. And I'm also using tinfoil and some straws because I'm going to steam her hair into shape. And I use tinfoil because it just keeps it all in place. And wet hair kind of makes it more malleable to shape. And because I am going to steam her hair, I am doing this before I do the makeup. Because if I do the makeup, it would damage it. So this is why I do everything first. She kind of looks like Lady Gaga here, don't you think? Like in that video. You know which one. So I use a steamer and use a tinfoil kind of hat thing that I make to capture the heat a bit more. I do the steaming for about 5 minutes just to make sure that the shape is secure, and then I take everything out. And as you can see here, the curls are really, really nice. Steaming definitely works. I'm just going to comb this out a bit more to give it a bit more shaping, and then I'm going to reapply the heat again because I want to give it a big, I want to do kind of a big sweeping kind of red hair shape thing. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but yeah, I want to do a big sweeping red thing, kind of like Jessica Rabbit kind of look to it. This is kind of what I was thinking. So this is how it turned out. I'm quite happy with it. Now to the makeup. So I normally use a cling film to cover the hair. However, if you ever watch my videos, you would notice that the cling film comes away after a while. So this is why I use fabric and pins this time. And I'm just applying pan pastels just for eyeshadow and the lips and the eyebrows as well. And then I use an eraser if I need to clean up any mistakes I've made. And then I use my first coating of Mr. Super Clear and I spray it on the outside. And this is me. Hi, especially to Kath Oates, just to show that I wear a mask and I do it outdoors because she was very concerned about how I do things. So yeah, just to show that I am doing it outdoors in a safe space with a mask on and everything. So yeah, back to the makeup. I use watercolor pencils, which I don't normally do, but I have actually been practicing off camera. And the reason why I do this is because I met someone called Wen, which I hope you're watching. Hi Wen, hope you're out there. And she uses watercolor pencils and all that stuff, and her work is absolutely amazing. And it really got me to be like, I need to do better. I need to try watercolor pencils. I've seen a lot of people do it, a lot of other doll artists do it, and I just thought, do you know what? Let me try it. And so I've been practicing, and I have been watching a lot of people out there, and I've actually been watching two. One is Delightful Dolls, who is absolutely amazing, and a lot of this is from her. I literally watched loads of her videos and just practice and practice, and that's how I got a bit better. And another one was Hextian, I want to call him. I'm not sure I'm saying his account properly, but his stuff is also amazing. They're obviously major YouTubers, so you probably know them. But I did a lot of like off-camera work on those, so that's how I kind of improved. And I feel like this is probably the best face I've ever done. So really happy with her. So now that the makeup's all done, I removed the wrap, I guess, and I can finally see what it looks like. I give it a brush and I think she is ready. So now I move on to the dress, and I really like these accessories that this doll came with, so I'm gonna implement the accessories with the dress, and I want to do something a bit more free-forming here. I normally start with patterns, but for this one I wanted to create something and then make the pattern from it. And I would recommend this method for any dough clothes that you would like to make. Just drape some fabric on the dough first, color it, and then put it on paper, and that way you can get a really nice accurate shape that you can reuse all the time. So yeah, definitely try that if you want to make clothes on a regular basis, which is what I do. I started off making those clothes for Barbie mainly, and for that I always use patterns, but I do like to make something a bit more free forming, something like this. Which is quite nice to do sometimes. You just get a bit more creativity. But yeah, I would definitely recommend if you want to make those clothes regularly, like I do, use patterns. That way you can get something more accurate every time. So once I've done the dress here, I've decided I'm going to add some beads. So I've got these lovely beads and I'm just attaching them by hand. I've sped up the video here 300 times, believe it or not. That's why I look a bit crazy, but it did take me about a whole evening to do this, I would say, from start to finish. And I wouldn't say I'm the best hand seamstress there is. Hand sewer. I wouldn't say I'm the best hand sewer there is. And I did have to go back and forth a couple of times to reattach the beads to make sure they are accurate. But I think I've done a pretty good job here, and I quite like the turnout of this. So yeah, I'm using the accessories and I'm just going to give them a bit of colour. So this one I'm giving a bit of gold to it, just to make it stand out a bit more. And this one I'm giving a bit of black to the bottom detail, just so that little detail stands out a bit more as well. And I'm also colouring her nails, so I'm doing her hand and I'm doing her toes. And voila, it's all pretty much done. Now I'm putting her head and her body together, and I think her hair is still a bit too bouncy, so I'm using a wet cloth and a hot iron to press it down a bit, just to like give it a bit more flatness to it. And this is what she looked like before, and this is what she looks like now. I call her the dancer. I really like her. I wanted to make her kind of really sassy, kind of Egyptian looking. You know, a lot of movement to her body. I love her face. This is definitely the best face I have ever done, and the poses and the dress is just striking. Tell me what you think. Leave some comments. If you like this, please subscribe. And yeah, hope you've all enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.